We have two named storm systems now in the Western Pacific. Of course, we are still tracking Typhoon Lan as approaches Japan here, but also we now have Typhoon Dora. Yes, this is the same Dora that passed south of Hawaii earlier this week and all the way back towards the Eastern Pacific. Only the second storm on record to maintain hurricane/typhoon intensity across three separate basins. Hurricane John being the last storm in 1994 to accomplish that feat. The thing is with Dora, do want to stress it's going to head off here towards the west and eventually turn towards the north out over the open ocean and eventually weaken. So this is not something you need to worry about back here towards the Philippines, Taiwan, or into Japan. This is noteworthy at this time because the record it has taking place and really just maintain that intensity, but it's currently weakening out. Lan is really our big topic here today. Winds right now at 155 kilometers per hour. Pressure down to 950 hectopascals. It moves off here towards the north and west. It has weakened. You even see that here in satellite imagery. Kind of starting to see that wind field spread out, a little bit drier infusion into the center of circulation, getting that classic donut shape we saw with Kanana as that started to weaken. As it moves this towards the northwest, though, when you get these big wind fields and that big kind of banding wrapping around, the main threat is the rainfall. And I'll talk about that in a second. But this is Dvorak analysis. Some of you have asked what that is. Basically, it's satellite representation or satellite interpretation, I should say, of how strong a storm system is. We don't have typhoon hunters here in the Western Pacific, so we have to rely on satellite. And basically, this peaked out here yesterday, and then since then it's starting to get that dry air and beginning to gradually weaken. Still a typhoon, still above that 65 knot threshold, but as expected, a bit of a far cry from what we were seeing here just 48 hours ago. And even taking a look at the forecast, this is expected to continue to weaken as it heads off here towards the Key Peninsula, where landfall likely as we go ahead into your Tuesday early morning, Monday night, early Tuesday morning across Key Peninsula, extending back towards Nagoya, places like Osaka and Kyoto going to see some messy weather, but they're more so into the left side of the storm. I'm really worried about kind of these east-facing coastal areas. That includes Nagoya here on the eastern side, the right front quadrant of the storm, before this pushes out across the Japanese Alps and really the mountains there from places like Nagano are going to see heavy rainfall too, as that just kind of squeezes out that precipitation, and eventually the storm weakens out and kicks off there towards the north. But yeah, places like Mie, Aichi, Shizuoka, Gifu Prefecture, all looking at that threat of this very heavy precipitation, and even a threat of some local storm surges in some of the low-lying areas there around Nagoya. So taking a look, kind of at the closer look at this as it pulls off there towards the north and west. Look at this. This is Monday evening. How about that? About 5, 6 o'clock, our storm system starts to really get close to the coast. Monday morning, already seeing the messy banding wrapping it around. Even farther away from the center of circulation, the Izu Islands, all the way back there towards even the Kanto Plain. Scattered showers throughout the day on Monday, very well likely as that moisture kind of comes on through, and especially in some of those places further towards the north and west. You're still going to be seeing some of that precip and some of the higher elevations as that orographic lifting helps out. But as I mentioned, I think Nagoya, some of these areas right in here, definitely seeing the worst impacts as this kicks off there towards the north. And eventually even over towards Hokkaido could get a little bit of some gusty conditions out of it. But rainfall being the main threat in Japan, but also do want to mention, still have that tail back across Guam and all the way back here towards the southern half of the Philippines, seeing some scattered showers too, associated with this elongated trough with our storm as it kicks off there towards the north, still pulling in that inflow. But the further north it gets, the more that's just going to kind of back off and weaken out. And the good news, I mean, if we take a look at the broader picture, I don't see anything in the long-range forecast, no other long-range storms out here as Lan continues to approach Japan. Heavy rainfall being the main threat for our friends out here across Honshu, and Dora still becoming a typhoon. So, just make sure you continue to check in with those local updates there, especially with JMA. If you get those notifications, especially the purple, the emergency level warnings for the heavy rainfall, you do want to take those very seriously if you are out here across Japan watching this storm. Maybe it's your first typhoon. A lot of my viewers here are new to the area. That's why you're watching the English version of things here. So yeah, just be smart, be careful, and yeah, just be able to stay safe out there. If you have any questions or anything like that, please let me know as well. And the number one thing, yeah, as I mentioned, just stay safe out there. Ooh, one more thing. If you find these updates useful, please check out our Patreon. We got plenty of you that support the channel here, from our Super Typhoons over to Typhoons. Some of you have been asking to add a new tier above $10 just a month. I might go ahead and do that if you guys ask for it. I mean, I'm not going to disagree with more donations, but the big thing is, even if it's just $2, it does go a long way to helping support this channel. These fantastic graphics from Metro Weather to keep things going here. So that's all for today. You can tell I'm still jet lagged. I just got back from Tokyo, back in the States, so that's why maybe I sound a little fuzzy today. Anyways, thanks for watching, and as always, number one thing, stay safe out there. That's the third time I've said that. That's my point. Bye.